external module for field shuffle is basically just that, a REDCap external module that puts fields into a random order. That would be for surveys, and that would similarly be for data collection instruments. So when we're looking at, I have it set up here. Excuse me. As a data collection instrument, and similarly as it's supporting survey. So when we look at the random order is applied for all fields that you designate. Here I have the initial demographics designated as fields to be shuffled. So when you refresh, so I've been thinking of purposes for that, and maybe for reverse scoring, it would work for, maybe you guys can think of some other ideas that it would work for. One caveat is I wouldn't use it between matrix, although it will work, but it will separate it and your form will look a little disastrous. So, but although it's possible anyhow. So this is essentially, its purpose is to move the same fields around by form, and they have to be designated on the specific survey that of your choice. So you would want to establish the parameters by instrument. So every field that is on that instrument can be shuffled and should be on the form, the respective form that you choose. So here, are some of the system parameters for admins. Maybe you want to take a look at that for some of the team members. It's language file. One choice is English. Otherwise, it goes to default. And some other stuff.
So that's what this page, that page would be just for our team and wouldn't be for.
Correct. Yeah, that's admin purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so just as all other external modules, similarly, they're applied or executed through the manage link in your project, which is here for external modules. So we go to external modules. If it isn't displaying here, we would have to enable it so that it does display. So we enable the search for our module, enable it, and put it to use. So it's we'll shuffle.
It's there.
Thank you. So,
It won't. Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to show here. Thank you. It's not going to show
Right.
here because it's already supported here. Just so it's
Well,
here.
it would show there if you didn't already have it enabled in the project. Since you do, it won't show. So yeah, it's good to show that how you get to it. Just note that for everybody that the only reason you can't see it is if he already has it enabled.
Correct.
Also, a quick caveat, just so I, not to take you out of your flow, but I've been asked in the past for abilities to randomize field order for surveys by a number of people because they don't want people who fill out a survey multiple times. Let's say you have to fill out a survey weekly. They wanted to set it up so that the fields would be random each time the participant opened it, so they didn't get in a flow of if you have option buttons or yes nos and you're just not even paying attention and you just answer the same thing the same way every time. By randomizing those fields, it forces the user to actually read the question and make sure their response makes sense, you know, if they're going to do it right.
Okay, that's, yeah, I was wondering how, like, what other uses that would.
Yeah, I'm glad to see they did this, because up until they created this, we didn't have any good way to do this. There's also one that we'll demo at some point to, and if I remember correctly, there's one to randomize instruments. But I wanted to do this one first because I know that people have asked me about this before. Anyway, sorry,
Okay.
Michael, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Thank you. It's pretty straightforward. And it uses action tags to make that randomization occur. And so your action tags are as simple as the shuffle field survey and shuffle fields on data entry. And that's what enables it on a data entry form as well as the survey together. So these both have to be applied to the form that you are executing a shuffle on, and then you can go from there. So this I wasn't sure, but there's an external demo project. I think it's an XML file on GitHub, but I wasn't sure how I guess it would be a copy and paste. But nevertheless, that's maybe Manny can expand on that a little bit, or yourself.
Well, all you need to do is, if you want to, and this is I'm glad you brought this up, because Manny just set up our website with our videos to have accompanying XML projects, so that you can upload the XML file, create a new project. Why don't you go, Michael, without interrupting you too much there, just open up, go to your My Projects tab over there on that screen somewhere, go to My Projects. And so up at the top, there's a new project. If you'll click on that new project button tab up at the top there, the green, if you're creating a new project, up at the top, yeah, there you go. Yeah, click on that. So once you've grabbed that template, that XML file off of our website, or like Michael has one he has downloaded, you just give your project a title, and then you'd go down to the option towards the bottom that says project creation option, where it says empty project. Instead of using that, you'll do the second option, which is upload a REDCap XML file. And when you do that, you'll choose that file. You'll pick the project, the download XML file, and then once you've given it a name, you create the project, and it will automatically create the project for you to use to learn how to follow along with the video that we have online. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because this makes it more, hopefully more understandable for those of you who are interested in grabbing XML files from our website for videos. Or the other option, Michael, if you can go back to your project for a minute, just, yeah, go back. Yeah, open up that one that you have. Or any project, really, it doesn't matter. Just open some project.
So yeah, that's a beautiful feature, that the XML, it's almost instantaneous. So yeah.
Yeah. So just grab your My Projects and open up some project, either this one or some other one.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, just make sure that you know that if you use the other functionality, oh, go back there. You were in the right place. Now where are you going?
Do you want to see something? No, I'm not sure. You wanted to see something?
Yeah, I want to. You had a project open just a second ago. I just want you to open any project. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
There's nothing there. Oh, there we are. Okay. So go to the other functionality tab up at the top next to project setup.
Yeah, there may be a delay there. It's open.
Okay. So from here, note that if you haven't done this before, there's the area down there where the green button is that says copy the project. There's a copy or back up the project option. One of those is to download your project as an XML file. And that's just the architecture of your project. It doesn't include any of the, it doesn't include data. So if you want to do the XML option, you'll click on that button and then download an XML file. And then you can upload it into REDCap, just the way we were looking at that with Michael in going to creating a new project and then uploading that XML file. So that's how that works. And although copy the project is great if you are collaborating with someone and you're like using a project at a different institution and you want to be able to grab the project from their instance of REDCap and put it on our instance of REDCap, you know, the metadata is the best way, because the copy of the project only works within our instance of REDCap. So that's why grabbing those XML file, like Michael grabbed that XML file from GitHub. And if you're not familiar with GitHub, that's fine. You don't need to be, it's a developer site, but Michael grabbed that XML file, which gave him the ability to create a project using that XML file. So that's a lot of stuff in between how to use this external module. But since he brought it up and since Manny just posted all those XML files, which are going to be a great help if you want to learn one of those videos has to offer. Now you'll know how to do it if you don't understand how XML functions within REDCap. Anyway, so that was a long-winded description of that. So Michael, if you want to go back to your flow of explaining how those how to set that up again, that would be great. Thanks.
Sure thing. So this is just a slide showing where we locate that, and then there's one other item for debug mode that could be applied in your configuration at setup that's for admin. Let me repeat that. So this is actually available to all users for enabling a debug mode, and this is for being able to recognize or depict any issues with some of the coding. So we would basically right-click on the form that we're looking at and be able to look at some of the coding that's involved in that.
So also, just to make sure people understand some of these things, there are, whenever I grab an external module, usually I'll check out the configuration of that module and how it becomes available to you. So I can, some modules have more configuration options than others, but I try to make all the modules that I download from Vanderbilt available to you immediately. But by default, they all require that you have project admin rights on the project to be able to apply them to your project. And but those settings are all something that we do on our end and happen before you ever see it. So then some of the configurations are available to you on your end. So what you're seeing are a little bit of both. So go ahead, Michael.
Okay. And so the add tag, the action tag rather, at shuffle dash fields dash survey, as well as at shuffle dash fields dash data entry. So I've tried it with both, either or, and so it works. It works for just a survey, or it'll work for just the data entry form, or both. So depending on how you apply the action tags, and it's just at shuffle. Go ahead.
Can you show where you put those action tags, where you apply
Yes.
them?
Yes. So the action tags for this, it's by field. So when we go into our designer, we look at our forms. So I have that established on the screening form, and you have to make one designated field. And I chose to put it at top. But the designated field would include, for your action tag, here I have hidden on survey, and it's a read only. So you can see the variables that are selected within the read only field on the data collection instrument. And then it's hidden on the survey, so that's the best way. You wouldn't want your participants to be able to view that for any reason. It would just create confusion for them. But for internal use, it's good to have a read-only field so that you're able to see what fields are actually being shuffled.
So this is interesting because this is different for those of you who use action tags. Generally, you apply an action tag to a single field so that it does something with that particular field. In this case, you're creating a field just to shuffle all these fields. So you're creating a field just for itself to apply these action tags to. So that's a different way of going about this, which is interesting.
That's a different approach. One of the things that I noticed with this, though, nevertheless, is when you select for action tags and you have applied and configured the external module, the action tag doesn't apply to this list. So I haven't seen it on this list.
Right.
It's you just have to know that it's working and it's available.
So do you want, hey, can you go to the external modules page for that project for a minute? You could just close that list of action. Okay, there you go. Yes, thank you. So if you look at the field shuffle external module, the documentation he's showing, yeah, there you go, is that link. So that will explain a little bit more to you about, this is where he got that document that he showed before and how to apply it. No, that's good. I think that's fine. Okay. I just want to make sure people could see how to grab those action tags, because as you say, they don't show up in the list of drop downs of action tags that are always included with REDCap. So on occasion, if you add an external module and it's action tag driven, make sure you read the documentation to understand what new action tags are available, because this happens with a number of the external modules that we get where there's a custom action tag and you have to go into that documentation to find out what you need to apply and where you need to apply it, how. So again, I'm glad that you showed that.
Yes, so what I've noticed with some of the other external modules that wherein the action tag will actually apply and it'll become available, but this is one where it wasn't available.
Right, you're
I
right.
just point that out. Yeah. And so again, the basic action tags are here. And
Also, I think it's good to see that you can do it on a data entry page versus a survey page. I think the use will be far more common for surveys than data entry forms. You figure people that are using data entry forms would be your coordinators, and they aren't going to want to search all around for where the field is that they're looking to enter the data in. On the other hand, if you're trying to randomize the form entry for a participant and you are sending them either a survey to be filled out by them online, or if you have it on, like in a clinic setting, on an iPad or whatever, you still would be using the survey option. So I'm sure, I would guess that you would have much more use for the survey option than the data entry.
yeah, and another important thing to point out is that is this note here on where you have field numbers applied to your survey. The original order is preserved, meaning it will not shuffle. I haven't seen that, but I would imagine once you have the auto numbering or even custom numbering, that wouldn't apply and it wouldn't shuffle. So
Well, that's interesting.
That overrides that option.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And here's just an example of how that would apply. You put it, you enter in your action tag and then an equal sign, and then within double quotes and comma separated your variable names, exactly how they occur or exactly how they are written, excuse me. And that's basically what it is, more or less.
That's great. Does anybody have any questions about how they work?